He done a really good job on that occasion. He's doing well in Brisbane. He's running around the 29.60 mark, which is well and truly good enough to be competitive, but he's come up with a terrible draw again here like he did in the Phoenix. He's got pace, as we touched on, drawn underneath. It's hard to see where he maps. I can't get him mapping any better than midfield. And yeah, I can see why he's going to go around the outsider. I think he's a dog measuring up to the highest level. He just hasn't had the opportunity in the Phoenix and then once again tonight in the Temlee to utilise his brilliance. So he's a pass for me, but he'll certainly be more than competitive here tonight.
Over to Patch.
Thanks, Mark, with Luke Thompson and Flying Zulu. And Luke, he's been heavily backed since the box draw on Monday. Is that a sign of a reflection of the confidence from the camp as well?
Oh, look, he's got his draw tonight. He's in superb form. Obviously, his last 2 runs have been really, really good. And just hopefully he can, replicate those type of runs tonight.
Outside of the trio that you guys have in the race, who do you think's the biggest threat?
Oh, look, all dogs on their night. They're all super quick. We've seen what Smooth Plane trialled before the Phoenix. He can really go well. Hotel Whiskey, he's the kind of X-factor speed dog in the race. But, you got to be at your best tonight to win this race for sure.
Good luck, mate.
Ta.
Luke Thompson there with Flying Zulu. I need a quick word from Luke Whelan, has got Lakeview Emily. And Luke, much has been made of her in a seasonal scratching up in Brisbane and now lining up in a Temlee tonight. What's the feeling from the camp about how she's going to perform?
Oh, fair visitors box 5. Need to do everything right from there.
She's right?
Yeah, she's right, yeah.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks.
Luke Whelan there with Lakeview Emily. Boys, I'll throw it back to you out of the Temlee for 2025, and that Sparks will be flying.
They will indeed. Nathan Rooney, who are you with?
1, 2, 4 and 8. I'm pretty keen Flying Zulu here. I think he comes up with the red alley. He gets a pretty good map to really punch up and hold the fence. He's had 7 starts from box 1. He's been able to win 6 times out of the red draw. He's in fine form. He's most probably at the peak of his powers of recent runs. You don't see a 29-second run and a 28.84 run at Sandown in back-to-back weeks very often. It'll be trained to the minute by Jason Thompson. He gets a lot of ticks in the box next to his name, and I see why the market's gravitated towards him. Smooth Plane in for second. I think it's a beneficiary of a near rails draw. He had a good campaign up in Queensland through the Golden Bullet series, and he can certainly make his presence felt. He's a very fast animal. Vincent Bale has got a terrible box draw. I put him in for third. I think he's racing at the peak of his powers. He just needs to overcome a sticky box draw, and then fourth, Excavation off the wide draw. He's been an Adelaide Cup winner off the pink. He's a very fast animal, and if anything can overcome box 8 at the Meadows in a Group 1, it could be him. 1, 2, 4 and 8 my numbers for the Temlee.
220 and the best backed all week for the entire program at the Meadows. Flying Zulu for the Temlee. Here's James Vandermar.
Flying Zulu drawn the inside. He's expected to be mighty, mighty hard to beat with the coveted rails draw. Last few going in and the green light switched on and they're set to run for the 2025 Temlee. Set. Racing. Flying Zulu missed the kick. Away fast. Hotel Whiskey 1's going to charge out and lead Lakeview Emily, and going forward Excavation on the outside. And now railing Flying Zulu past Lakeview Emily from Tim Zoo. A break of 4 then to Vincent Bale. A further 2 to Smooth Plane, and dropping right out there Day Sees Rory. It's Hotel Whiskey 1 the leader. Flying Zulu starting to mow him down. Excavation to the outside. Hotel Whiskey 1 on tight legs. Grabbed by Flying Zulu, who drove through late from nowhere. Tim Zoo. Wow, what a finish this. Flying Zulu the inside, or Tim Zoo in a bobbing go, and Excavation will run the third. It's a Team Thompson domination. Then Hotel Whiskey 1 from Lakeview Emily, Vincent Bale, Smooth Plane, and Day Sees Rory last. Oh, I'm not sure. Tim Zoo has thumped home at Flying Zulu. Where did
Thompson
he come
domination,
from?
well put by James Vandermart. Who won it? We got no idea. The frames just come up. It is Tim Zoo. Wins the Temlee for 2025, and what a performance that was from the clouds. Shona Thompson, the draw looked ugly, but he has been enormous.
Do you know what? When we were loading the dogs up, Jace, to leave, Jace said there might be a bit of a smoky tonight. He said, I've just got a feeling, and I tell you what, I told you that Phoenix night that my husband was a genius, but he might have just gone next level.
What about the trifecta of the race? Look, you come in with good chances in any race you compete in, let alone a Temlee. You've trifected it. That is awesome.
Look, I think we trifected a Warrnambool Cup many years ago, and our vet actually said to us on Friday, you've got to get the trifecta, and we just laughed and, you know, thought the red was boxed perfectly. You know, he just had to do what he's been doing, and we thought I think there was 3 boxes left when the box draw was being done. 1, 2, 7. We had 2 dogs left, and we're hoping for 1, 2. We got 7, and he's still done it from there.
You had an amazing 2024. It was just incredible. And to start off 2025 like this, amazing.
Look, we were rapt when the little dog won race 2, you know, the brother next letter to...
Reaper?
Yeah, to Tim Zoo, and we were rapt with that, you know, thinking, wow, you know, he's done a super job. And in these races, you're just hoping, but to get the trifecta, that's something else.
He's aiming at back-to-back Australian Cups. We know the amount of people involved. So how many of them here tonight enjoying the atmosphere?
I think most of them are here tonight. So, and we've actually got Craig McRae, the coach of Collingwood. He's in Reaper and he's here tonight. And I said to him, if the dogs get beat, you can't come again. But if they win, you have to keep coming. So we might have to try and get him here next week too.
You might need a standing coach. That'd be outstanding. But amazing result for your team. One of the greats of all time. You should be proud of yourself. So good job.
Thank you. Very proud of my whole family. Thank you.
Shona Thompson there, guys, after the win of Tim Zoo. And as James said in the call, Thompson domination. 1, 2, 3 in an invitational race is an incredible achievement.
Indeed it is, Patch. Team Thompson. What more can you say? Not in the order that punters would have liked, I might just say. Tim Zoo, though, from the clouds, has gotten up to nail Flying Zulu. The time, 29.819. Neck by 3/4. Tim Zoo, didn't see that coming.
It was a knockout punch, you could say, but his form off inside draws recently has been phenomenal. Like, let's not get that wrong. He ran 29.62, winning the match race, beating Field Day at his last start, which was, you know, 5-6 weeks ago. That was pre-Christmas. He posted 29.59 when he had box 1 here the start before, and he posted 33.67 over the 5.95 at Sandown through the Melbourne Cup Carnival. So he's been in fine form, but he had the terrible box draw once again, a drawing wide. He's a greyhound that lacks a little bit of early speed, and he needs to get across to the fence. And he was able to manoeuvre his way there mid-pack and get on the fence. And Hotel Whiskey 1 was the early leader, drifting up in the home straight, presenting that run to Flying Zulu, who had to most probably work a little bit harder than we most probably anticipated. He didn't nail the start. He kind of come up with the lids or didn't jump cleanly like he has been. So he had to use all his petrol tickets to get himself into the race. He was able to hug the fence, get to the front, and his kennel mate just come over the top in the last bob and really put his head down. I think that was the key. It was heads up and heads down on the line, and Tim Zoo got the bob in and a deserved win off an unsuitable wide draw. And he goes through to next week, obviously, and if he can draw down a couple of times in a row, Jace, he's a major player. He's overcome a bad box draw tonight, but he'll be better for that run as well. His last run was at the 21st of December, so we're talking 6 weeks between runs, so he's certainly going to take great benefit for that. He just needs some luck with box draws.
Just seeing the result frame up there on screen, Tim Zoo at $15, $20, that looks strange.
Well, if you had box 1, he goes around at $45.
I know, it's different. So. Yep, 100%, but it just looks weird. But he has been sensational. And I think, Mark, I mean, we've seen some great racing, whether it be stables or kennels over the period of time. And I think with the Thompson camp, a lot of people can feel as if it's quite routine and quite common to win these big races. I mean, soak it up. This is just absolute masterstroke. Just about every time these dogs go around. To go 1, 2, 3 in a Temlee, we cannot understate how big an achievement that is.
Like a Cox Plate, to put into context for anybody who might be tuning in that isn't au fait with the greyhound world, but knows their thoroughbreds. It's invitation only, and they've won this race now from 23 runnings of it 6 times. Yep. 6 times. And that's more than 1 in 4
yep.
that they've been run.
3 runners in it tonight, around 1, 2, 3, all within a length of each other. They've drawn inside and outside. They've overcome unfavourable box draws. The last 12 months has been phenomenal. Every Group 1 event goes around, like they just have a stranglehold on them, and they just keep getting better and better. And we're talking about a kennel that doesn't have 100 in work. You're talking about a kennel that's got 25 tops in work, but just quality, trained to the second, produces every time. The 3 dogs tonight, they didn't go up to Queensland. We've seen Excavation have 1 run at Bendigo. Tim Zoo we hadn't seen since the 21st of December, and Flying Zulu is the one that's kind of been racing, but he had a couple of weeks between runs. So just train for the race, train for the minute, and get the desired result.
What a night for Craig McRae.
He's had a night out, hasn't he? He's had a night out.
He's not in this greyhound, though, is he?
I don't think he is. No, he's just part of the camp tonight.
But the boys that own Reaper, that he's associated with,
They're in this one, aren't
yeah,
they?
yeah. The Tristan Lynch and Matt Hovey and that who are mates of mine are involved with this one, and they own Reaper with Craig McRae. So he just comes to the dogs and thinks how easy is this.
Yeah.
So I reckon the whole Collingwood Football Club will have a greyhound with Jason Thompson in the coming weeks, because he just thinks this is a good night out. Craig
Speaking
McRae.
of Matty Hovey, I think it was his birthday during the week, so possibly the only person in history to have his birthday twice in a week.
Yeah, well, he's birthday, Christmas, and New Year's all for Hovey. So no, he does a bit of work with Kenny Bailey up at Sale Way, and he's a character, to say the least, and a good mate, and good to see. Just a battler, Jace. He's just a typical Aussie bloke that goes to work and puts his hard earned into some dogs, and geez, he's getting some success at the moment, and he's had a night out to savour, and I see his ugly mug up there in the photo, and he'll be proud as punch with Tim Zoo tonight.
$8 out to $21 to have fixed odds.
21 he jumped at.
Yeah, fixed odds.
Wow.
The SP. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at scenes at the moment from the podium, which is unreal. Probably the only one that's slightly, not filthy, but a bit miffed would probably be Luke. He's flying Zulu, but he was smiling for the camera.
He's
there
had his
at
time
Global.
with explicit. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, I think so too. But no, the Thompson family. What more can we say about what they've achieved and what they continue to achieve? And now it's going down a further generation to the kids in Holly and Luke, which is sensational to see.
Yeah, indeed. It's great to see. And Nathan, what your take on this as well? I mean, there's people out there thinking, of course, they have success. They get fed these good dogs who are really good operators. And here's some of the emotions straight after the race, which is just pure gold, and exactly a great example of what it all means to the camp. But back on the point I was making, a lot of people out there would say they get the fast dogs and, of course, they're going to have success. Yeah, that's true, and they're very grateful for that. However, every time these dogs go around, their form is so reliable, isn't it? There's a lot of dogs out there who are very fast, and you not quite know what you're going to get from start to start. However, for years,
when 7 goes into the frame, Holly.
I've been casting eyes at form guides for 10 years, which is probably absolutely minuscule compared to some other guys, including you, Nath. But you just know what you're going to get from these dogs, and if they're not going to produce their best, they're not here.
Yeah, correct. And we've just pointed that out in how these dogs have been at different stages of racing over the past 6 weeks. And then all of a sudden they come together here and they all put in peak performances. It's if you had a scale of every time Jason Thompson puts a runner around, it runs to its peak rating 99% of the time. And if it doesn't, it goes away until it's back to where he needs it to be before he produces it again. And he's the one controlling that ship now. There's no Jason out there tonight. He'll be at home doing the dogs, but I guarantee you tomorrow morning, he'll be the first one out there getting the dogs done, and he'll be going to trials. These dogs trialled on Sunday at Geelong. He was in control. He was there. He cast the eye over. They have to do what he wants them to do at the level he wants them to do before Shona and the kids are there to take him to the track. His work at home is phenomenal. His work behind the scenes is phenomenal through trialling and racing, and he deserves the utmost success because he keeps the best dogs at the highest level constantly and consistently.
And it's not just these freaks that can run super times. There was a dog they had laddie in the meeting at Sandown on Thursday night. I can't remember its name. It was the only greyhound they had in. It's one they owns, and that one's no superstar. It's only a 2960 sort of type, 2950, but runs that every single time.
He'll get the best out of every dog he's got. He's meticulous in what he does. Have a look at the condition of every runner he produces. You know, they shine more than my bald head under bright lights, Jace.
That is shiny.
That's
a big statement to
But
make.
they're just in the ultimate condition. They live in the ultimate climate. Everything is ticked off to be 110% before they leave the property, go in the car, and come to the races. He's just a phenomenal operator. He gets not all the success, but he gets a lot of success. But it's rightly so. And he gets the good dogs, yes. Why do people send him the good dogs? There's proof in the pudding there. He produces the big results time after time.
An amazing training performance.
Great shot, that.
Yeah, with the Thompsons. No, Jason will be proud as watching from home, seeing Holly and Luke and Shona. It's wonderful to see, and well done to the camp. We're 12 minutes away, 11 minutes away from the 8th heat of the Australian Cup. Zipping Hopkins for you, Nath.
It is for me. This is the second of the better bets for the night. So